Welcome back again. So, good morning. Today we are moving on to our last general topic in your syllabus, that is quantification of algae. So, you studied about how to collect algae as algae is growing from different habitats, like they may be present in water, they may be present as terrestrial in tree trunks, in sand, sediments, so on. So, you studied the methods of collecting these algae, okay. And the second important part, how to preserve these collected algae for future studies, that also you have studied. They may be preserved in different solutions like formalin, Lugol's iodine, and also you can prepare herbarium, etc. you study. And also now you are familiar with how to identify algae also. And next, our very important part is there are so many phytoplanktons and macroscopic algae growing all over. Okay, so how we can count or how we can quantify this algae? That is quantification, or it is known as algal counting. Clear? So algae are exist in microscopic forms and macroscopic forms. So usually these techniques are used to study microscopic algae. Planktonic algae are quantified. They are by using algal counting. Okay, and there are different methods for counting algae. And mainly there are four major techniques for counting algae. Okay, then from among these, two of them are used when counting algae in mixtures. That is from field sampling, and other two are used in counting unialgal samples. What is that? When you collect algae from the field in a bottle, you know that collection, you will get a mixture of algae. That is the first aspect method. Second one is, from the mixture of algae, you will isolate one among them. There are techniques to isolate, and you will maintain a pure culture. What is pure culture? It contains only one type of algae. So you will grow this algae in your laboratory. So in your culture, you have only one type of algae, that is unialgal samples. And how you can count this? That is by bioassay, growth in bioassay experiments. So these are the two broad type of algal counting. Understood? One from the field itself, by collecting, and a mixture type you will count. And the second half is from the unialgal samples that you have grown this algae in your laboratory. Clear? Okay. Now, so first half, counting algae in mixed assemblages. That is from the field, when you collect, you will get a mixture of algae. That is the mixed assemblages. How can this counting is possible? Okay. So you know, in the field, in the water, algae is growing mixed. Different forms exist together. There are filamentous forms, there are planktonic forms, colonial forms, everything mixed together in the field. So that is the first, how you can count this. That is the first method. Okay. So the very common method, that is low-tech method, low-cost method that we are preferring is Sedgwick rafter chamber, SR chamber or SR cell in brief. Okay, Sedgwick rafter chamber or SR cell. Okay, these are actually, you look like it as a slide. You know the slide that we are using in the practical session. So in your last semester, you used slide, glass slides. In that you will kept your specimen and you will look under microscope. So it look like somewhat the glass cutting. Okay, but it is at the center of this glass cutting, you can see a chamber that is constructed with a brass plate. Okay, and with a precise internal area that is cut out in that. Okay. Now this plate is epoxied, means mounted in a glass slide, the copper plate, clear, or brass plate. Okay. Then large rectangular glass cover slip is used to cover the slide. Then another important, there is a specific measure. The chamber is with an area of 1000 millimeter square and it can hold a volume of 1 ml. Okay. So chamber area is 1000 millimeter square and it can carry a sample of 1 ml. That's important. So this is look like a slide at its a particular size of brass plate that having chambers, and it is covered in a epoxed or pasted in a glass slide, and you can use a cover slip of a rectangular size. So we can look into detail. See, this is the SR cell chamber and this is the cover slip. See, I will show you by taking the pen. See how this is. Okay. So this first one, this is the actually our slide. Okay. And this chamber, this center of rectangular size, that is our actual material prepared with the chambers, and this is the outer one is our glass slide or cover slip. Clear? And by using 1 ml pipette, you can put your sample inside this SR cell or chamber. Okay. This chamber is 15 to 20 into 1 mm. The chamber only 15 to 20 into 1 mm. Cover slip is 15 to 20 mm size. Okay. So we use a pipette to measure 1.2 ml of sample, because it hold only 1 ml, then what left is 0.2. That will be there in the pipette. Okay. Then gently nudge the cover slip, means slightly remove the cover slip from one side, and at the corner you can put your sample into this chamber. Okay. Then cover slip never float, and you should take care without forming air bubbles. That is very important. Okay. Then the sample will left at settle within 15 minutes. Then after that you can count it. Okay. So take the SR cell, that's actually a glass. At its center there is a chamber with markings, square marks, and it covers a cover glass also. There is a particular size. Then put your sample in a 1 ml pipette. Then pipette out the sample by just removing from one corner of the cover glass. Put it into the chamber. Slowly keep some 15 minutes. It will settle down. And now you can count it by looking under microscope like this. Okay. So this is the centermost part of the chamber. See how this chamber is arranged, having number of grids. Okay. Blocks, grids. So algae will enter inside the grids. Now counting done under microscope. Look, see here in this image you can see counting under microscope by 4x or 10x, different powered objective lens. 4 times, double size 4 times you can observe, or 10 times you can observe. Okay, that much focusing will available. Then kept this slide under microscope, randomly chosen field. So once you look, see sometimes you look, this part is visible. Clear? This is our first plot. Then just slide the slide, and on one side second half this portion coming under the microscope objective lens. Then this also microscope. Then keep once more in one side, and then another portion. Then take another portion. Likewise, from almost all part of the slide you just look. So while you looking through this objective lens, only one small spot coming. So count how many algae in that quadrant or size. Then take another part, move the slide, another area, check, another area, check. Likewise you can. So randomly selected 10 field, then count algae within the boundary. Clear? So this is the way of counting algae by using SR cell. I hope you got a clear idea. So SR cell is a very commonly using counting technique, a simple technique, a low-tech method that we can use in our laboratories. It is prepared by a glass slide, then a chamber with grids, particular size is there, overall 100 mm square. Then you can have a cover glass of glass, somewhat same size, that is kept on the chamber. Then take 1 ml sample, put into the chamber, weight, then it will uniformly spread. Then look under microscope in 4x or 10x, take different field and count the algae. That's all about a SR cell. Understood? Okay. Now, The second method is high-tech method. High-tech method is a costly method because this microscope is high cost microscope. Okay, this is inverted microscope. See, inverted microscope in the picture you can see. This is an expensive method. The expensive part coming under this is the inverted microscope. Then special ultramole chambers are purchased. You can purchase the chambers for keeping in this microscope, and also you can construct the chamber from cover slips, plastic bottle caps, syringe barrels, etc. for our local use. You can construct a chamber or you can purchase the chamber. Okay. Then a measured volume of sample is added in the chamber and allowed to settle for an hour. Then counting is possible. This is the inverted microscope method. This is always using in the research centers and is high cost. Clear? Now, how can you count uni-algal samples? What is uni-algal samples? So, we finished the algal mixture, assemblage of algal mixture in the first two half, SR technique and also the technique of inverted microscope. Now, how can you count the uni-algal sample? So, once you got a mixture of algae, you isolated it, you cultured only one type, now you got only a mixture having only one type of algae. So, it may be small colony, it may be short filament, it may be of unicellular. So, how can you possible? Here also low-tech method is there. Low-tech method is hemocytometer. So, hemocytometer is a common technique that we are using. Usually our blood samples, blood counting, you know the ESR counting, white blood cell corpuscle counting, RBC counting, etc. done for checking out various diseases in our bodies. Usually in laboratories they are doing. That is done by using hemocytometer. The same technique is applied here, hemocytometer. So, this is the chamber or area of hemocytometer. How is it possible? This is actually developed for counting blood samples. There are thick special cover slips in the box. So, that is a set of box available with a hemocytometer and a special cover slip. So, cover slip is placed on the top of the surface. That is a small hole or a small mirrored surface is available in that slide. So, just put the sample in that mirror surface and put the cover glass. Okay. So, we can use a pipette to introduce a sample in the cover slip, beneath the cover slip or under the cover slip. So, this is a very simple technique, easily you can measure. So, this is the technique. See, this is a look like this. What is this? Here a small well-like structure, a depth is present in the hemocytometer cover. So, this is on the top of which we are placing the cover glass. See, this is the entire slide. In the entire slide, you can see a portion, a small cabin or a pit. So, this is a counting chamber, and next to side this there is a filling area. So, you can fill your sample here, then that will move on to this counting chamber. See, appear like this. Then if anything extra, that will overflow through this. Only a corrected particular ml is located inside the chamber. Okay. Then it has grids like this. Then usually grid composed of 9 square. 9 squares are there. Each square is 1 mm size. Clear? So, see. Here you can see the grid and its square. How many are there? 9 squares present. See, square 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 8 and 9. Okay, 9 squares present, and you just apply your sample there. Then you can count it. Now look, one more point is that, so if it is a square, it is a one of the square, it again divided into so many other chambers also. It also contain many chambers. Clear? So 9 square, under the each square again divide into chambers. So that's a peculiar feature, and this is a very simple technique that we are commonly using in our laboratory. Clear? Okay. Now there are high-tech method for in this uni-algal sampling, that is Coulter counter. known as Coulter counter or electronic particle counter. This is a very advanced technique, and this is recommended for bioassay studies, in large scale studies only, industries only. It also provides volume of algae present inside this. Here actually these algae are suspended in an electrolyte solution and counting them by applying current flow. Clear? The electrolyte used is 1% sodium chloride. Okay. Samples are dispersed in the electrolyte in a special sample beakers and counting is done. They are completely digitalized automatic counting method. So electrolyte is used. So in both types, that is algal mixture and uni-algal type, there are low-tech technologies and high-tech technologies. Okay. In the mixture type, the low-tech technology is SR cell, Sedgwick Tafter cell, and high-tech technology is inverted microscope. In the case of uni-algal method, the low-tech technology is chemocytometer and high-tech method is electronic particle count or Coulter counter. Okay. So I hope you understood well how quantification is going on. Clear? Now, another method is, see, this is the picture of Coulter chamber. This is the beaker and these are the digitalized devices attached here. You will get finally the result in the screen. Okay. Now, this is finished. This part is finished. So before that, I have to give you one more counting method, that when you visit a field, for example, when you are going to visit a coastal area, so you can see so many rocks are present. So many rocks are present. In the rocks, there are algae attached. How you will measure this? That is macroscopic algae. So algae you can visible attached on the surface. So in that case, you can prepare a method. You can use a method of simple quadrat method. What is that method? I will write here. That is simple quadrat method. Okay. Simple quadrat method. Okay. For that, you have to prepare a structure like this that will measure 25 centimeter or 25 mm on one side, 25 mm on other side, and here again 25 and here again 25. Okay. So 4 sides 25 centimeter square. Okay. So take such a square and you have to divide each section again still by equal size. Clear? Like this. Equal size like this. Like this. This is a rough diagram I have drawn. So each chamber inside is also of equal size. So you can prepare by using the PVC pipes then and also net. A net measure same chamber also all having same size. So outer 25 centimeter square etc. Okay. Now this is the instrument for measuring algae, counting algae in the field. Clear? So now we are taking this squared structure and now we are taking this and keeping in the habitats. So when you visit a seashore area, you carry this with you and you take it and keep it in the particular area on the algae, surface of algae. Now you count how many algae in each chamber. How many algae exist in each chamber. Now take this and keep it in another place. Then take and keep it in another place. Likewise, you can prepare. You can select an area. Under that area, you randomly, from here you kept, then from some other place you kept, then from some other place you kept. So an area you select first, then in that area you can keep this quadrat in some different places. So randomly count, prepare a table and take an average. Okay. So in this chamber itself you can have different types of algae. So count the algae, put a column, draw a column and measure the algae like this. First quadrat number 1. See an example, quadrat number 1. That algae example, take Signema in quadrat number 1, 2. Eulothrix in quadrant number 1, 3. That is 2, you signifies the 2 Eulothrix is that. So just an example, Signum and Eulothrix never exist in this stage. Okay. In this stage you will get alva, that gracilaria likewise. Okay. Now take another second sample area, then take write like this. So you can prepare a chart and write how many algae in each quadrant. So prepare, count it, average, and equation is there. By using that you can calculate. This is the quadrat method for macroscopic forms. Quadrat method for macroscopic forms. Clear? Okay. So that's all about our first part, that is quantification of algae or counting of algae. Clear? I hope you understood well. Clear? Okay. Now I think we can move on to our next session, that is culturing. That's very simple one. So I am including that also here. So culturing is when you collect algae, you will get mixture. Then you will isolate one among them and you will culture. Its multiples you will prepare. So why we are going for culture? So algal culture is in large quantity within a short period of time. So in this modern era, we are very much conscious with our health. Okay. So there are different dietary supplements available from algae, and algae can be also used for biofuels, etc. Algae like spirulina, you studied in economic importance, having high protein content, and it is used for many purposes. And algae are exploited for commercial production of dyes, colored substances, fodder, calitita, then bioplastics, biofuels, etc. For this, we need a single algae to culture, and that single algae produce these products. So how it is possible? So this is possible through algal culture. Clear? So algal culture is usually established for our economic or commercial or industrial purpose. See, so algae are using as food. Spirulina usually using as a supplement of protein, and people use this for in space visit and so on. Some algae are rich also vitamin A, B, C and E, omega fatty acids, etc. Several algae are edible like alva, porphyra, laminaria, chlorella, etc. So you need a pack of chlorella. How it is available? You need only chlorella. How it is possible? Only culturing. Clear? And many algal products are used in food industries like agar-agar. Agar-agar is used for culturing plants in laboratory, tissue culture. It's a medium of preparing tissue culture. Okay. Carrageenan, some other dye materials. So all these are available only you have to only after you culturing that algae. A single colony of that particular algae is necessary. So that is pure culture. For that we prefer algal culture. Clear? Okay. And for our research also we need algal culture. So these are the why this we are culturing algae. The answer to that question. Clear? Okay. Then algae is also very important source of pharmaceutical. Various medicines, various bioactive compounds that have nutraceutical and therapeutic potential are available for pharmaceutical industry. Spirulina capsules, spirulina creams, capsules are available. How these capsules are preparing? Only from spirulina. So you need only culture of spirulina. It never mixes with other algae. This is possible only by culturing. Clear? Then there are unialgal culture and axenic culture. Two types of algal culture. What is unialgal culture? It contains only one kind of algae. That is usually clonal populations. Only a particular type of algae. Okay. Sometimes it may contain many algae contain bacteria, fungi and protozoa. So you have to remove this and you have to maintain only the algal culture. Then axenic culture means contain only one algae, no bacteria, fungi and protozoa. In unialgal culture it may be mixed with these also. So you difficult to remove it, but we maintain pure culture. But in axenic culture you will never find these type of microscopic organisms. Now, how you will culture? So, this is a specialized culture room, an air-conditioned room, a well-protected room without any contamination, any germs, etc. So, what are the essential requirements for algal culture? You need water, clean water. you need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis, you need minerals for growth, you need perfect light, then temperature. These are the typical requirements for growth of algae. Now, you can culture by after collecting, isolating, then culture. After culturing, you can harvest the algae. These are the simple steps for culturing algae. Then isolation. So, when you collect the algae, you will get a mixture. So, from that mixture, you have to isolate the algae. So, for isolation of algae, you are using different techniques. First technique is membrane filter. That is sieving technique. A membrane that will filter only algae. So, you just pour your water. So, only algae will come down and others will be there in the mesh. That's a method. Okay. Bacteria will never come. Then use of mixtures of ethanol and sodium hypochlorite. That's also using for removing microbial other microbes. Then antibiotic screening to remove fungal contaminants. When you use antibiotics, the fungi will destroy, then algae will remain. Like different techniques are there to isolate algae from this mixture, and you can prepare pure culture. Understood? Okay. Now, the very important part is what? Culturing or cultivation. Why it is known as cultivation? Because sometimes we are culturing this in our open pond. So, well constructed, well designed technique is there for cultivating this in open pond. So, large scale, that's why cultivation. When in the laboratory, you can do it in the beaker, in the test tubes, in the bottles, etc. That time you will call it as culture. So, anyway, culture is the growing of algae. So, there are fragment culturing, that is small fragments of thallus are placed in a suitable environment that will support the growth. So, you take a small part of the filament, you put it in the medium, then you will get the multiplication, entire algae, huge amount of algae you will get. That is fragmented culture. Second type is single rope floating raft method, SRFR, single rope floating raft method. So, a long line cultivation, you take a rope, a line. So, that usually a nylon twine of 10 millimeter diameter is taken. That is taken and attached in two wooden stalks. Two synthetic fiber cables are using, then tie it on both sides, that will float on the water. Algae or fragments are put into the ropes, then cultured in the sea itself. So, the algae in the ropes will multiply, only that particular algae will grow. Usually in the macroscopic forms are cultivated like this. I will show you the image. See, this is a rope of nylon. So, in that you will kept in an algal filament. Just keeping this, touching this rope in the seawater, by taking the seawater, this algae will grow. Gracillariae is usually grown like this. Gracillariae is an important source of agar-agar. Okay. Now, net also you can use. Net is fixed. See, in the picture you can see the net is fixed in the bamboo frames or wooden frames, and that is kept under sea bottom, raft like structure, and fixed here. Then that will in that net algae will grow continuously by taking the seawater itself. Okay. So, it may also associate with some planktons also, but you will get large macroscopic algae, huge amount. You can cultivate them. Some of the macroscopic forms are used as fodder for cattle, Callithita. So, in that case, you can use this method. Clear? Okay. So, use of net, use of ropes are available. Now, pond culture. A pond of 0.5 to 1 hectare is taken with the full without any contamination. Okay. So, you can prepare mix salt water and fresh water here, salinity adjusted, pH adjusted. So, every 2 to 3 days we will clean the water, and that is pond culture. Spirulina is usually growing in pond culture, and another one is greenhouse culture. So, construct a greenhouse culture, greenhouse. Under that you can culture. See, you can see in this picture greenhouse and algae culturing. So, proper environmental condition is maintained here. So, productivity can be enhanced by using this, and reduction in contamination. This is not an open structure, this is a controlled structure, and there are techniques to clean up water and all. No waste materials put in the waste materials are cleaned out, and proper oxygen supply, everything provided. and it is under a greenhouse. So temperature and also maintained. This is a very advanced technique, that is greenhouse culture. Okay, high production. In this you can see the green color, only a particular type of algae is growing under greenhouse culture. See, now this is the technique of tissue culture. So we are growing this algae under laboratory conditions. UV light is providing and everything, that is air conditioned room, and a part of the algal thallus, a small part is cut down and put into the media preparing. That means this is a media, usually sometimes it may be seawater mixed with the minerals or whatever the medium. You put the algal piece inside this and a 0.3 to 5 centimeter blade is usually used. You can be used as an explant. Blade means that algal part filament. You can use it as an explant. What is the explant? Explant is the part of the algae that we are taken for growing. Okay. So if it is tip of the filament, that is the explant. So kept it and cultured. Usually seawater culture is going on. So growth regulators are usually applied. Then callus formation. Callus is that undifferentiated mass of tissue developed from the first small piece of explant that we are putting. A bunch, a growth is formed. Okay. From that you can cut it and put again, transfer to another beaker, another test tubes, it will again grow. So a huge culture you can prepare from a small part of the filament, that is explant. This is the technique of tissue culture. Then for tissue culture you need a culture media. Okay. So a culture media include all the requirements for the growth of the algae. So how this culture medium is preparing? So culture medium is an artificial synthetic medium in which algae are growing. Okay. So for our for example, in our poultry farming, we are giving an artificial feed to the chickens. Okay, artificial feed we are applying. In the case of prawn farming or shrimp farming, in a pond, you can see in Kannur district there are a huge number of prawn farms. So what they are applying? They are constructing a boundary. They are providing the nutrients inside that, antibiotics, everything. So likewise in that culture room we are setting up of different tubes or beakers, whatever it may, the inside that we are adding culture medium. So that medium having a particular composition, particular proportion. Okay, that medium should contain all the materials required for the growth of the algae. So culture medium is an artificial medium. So there are different types of medium designed by different scientists for growing algae. So for example, when you are growing zygnema, it need a particular medium. But some cases when you are growing a sargassum is a marine algae, it need another type of medium. So medium may be different for different types of algae. And there are sometimes uniformly designed medium also, in that an extra supplement we are adding. So composition of the medium or growth of algae is very, very important. That's a completely artificial or synthetic medium. So the common medium that is given in your syllabus, that is Walnas medium. That is widely used medium. So I am just giving you a brief introduction of Walnas medium. This is a synthetic or artificial medium for growth of for culturing algae. So this is usually used for culturing marine microalgae. Marine algae growing in seawater. Marine microalgae. Okay. So here stocks per 100 ml. A 100 ml stock is preparing. So 100 ml stock solution containing the following materials. What are they? Trace metal solutions. That is the first one. Trace metal solution. So it includes, what are the trace metal solution? It includes zinc chloride, then cobalt chloride, then ammonium and its components, ammonium water, then copper sulfate mixed with water, etc. Then all these are make up to 100 ml in distilled water. Then the solution appear to be cloudy. Acidify the solution with a few drops of HCl to give clear solution. Okay. When you add trace metal solution, trace metal solution include zinc, cobalt, nitrogen, this ammonia source, copper, etc. These are all metal solutes. Apply, add in distilled water, then it will appear cloudy, a somewhat thick solution. Add HCl and make it clear. This is a trace metal solution for Walnas medium. Okay. Now second part is vitamin solution. Vitamin solution is vitamin B12, vitamin B1, biotin, etc. Then makeup into 100 ml with distilled water per liter. This is the second part, vitamin solution. So trace metal part solution first one, vitamin solution second one. Now nutrient solution, that's the third one. It should contain iron, manganese, cobalt, disodium salt, H3BO3, then sodium hydrogen phosphate, sodium nitrate, then total metallic solution, everything. So that is make up into 1 liter of with the distilled water. So you can add everything, all that vitamin solution, stock solution, metal solution, nutrient solution, everything, and prepare a 1 liter with adding distilled water. Clear? This is the important point. Then medium per liter. For a medium it need 1 ml nutrient solution, 1 ml vitamin solution, 1 ml sterilized seawater. Then nutrient and vitamin solution separately added. Then all these medium, all these solution when you take this medium, you have to cover it with the aluminium foil. You take it in a beaker, cover with aluminium foil. Then kept it in autoclave. What is autoclave? Autoclave is a instrument used for sterilization. It works like our pressure cooker under high pressure. So the medium you should sterilize it, because we are adding seawater and everything, it will contain contamination. So that will increase the bacteria or other contamination. So we have to sterilize it. So medium you should sterilize it. Okay. Sterilized seawater also you can use. So that's all for about the preparation of medium. So Walnuts medium is very important medium that is commonly used for culturing algae, especially marine algae. So what are the contents of the Walnuts medium? Just to go through that, no need for studying preparation. What are the contents of Walnuts medium? It is used for preparing, culturing the marine algal forms. Okay. So in this class you studied why algae is culturing, what is the importance of culturing algae, how can you culture algae, what are the important medium for culturing algae, Walnuts medium, its composition. In the first part you studied the how you can count algae, quantification of algae by different techniques. Okay. So I hope you understood well. So prepare well, prepare notes and study well. So have a nice day. Thank you.